questions about Louisville and Indiana. We heard about it just walking in, literally. Just some thoughts about another high.
Oh yeah, I heard about it this morning. That's awesome. You know, to have a series with Indiana, I think is great for our fans, for their fans. It's 8 years from now, so I'm just hoping and praying I'm still going to be alive.
What is that rivalry? What is that potential game? What does that mean?
Oh well, I think it's great. You know, to be able to play another really quality opponent. I have a one on a neutral site, one in each city. Always been a big rivalry there between the two schools in basketball. So to be able to hook up and play in football, I think is great for both programs. It's a win-win.
To me, it's so much about the fans, the regionality of it. I mean, you can see the tailgating and just the natural rivalry regionally and all that.
Yeah, no question about it. It's something that we talked about for a long time, trying to get a game or a series with Indiana. So I think there was a lot of work put into it on both sides of the table, and we're just happy that it came about.
Just in a general way, I mean, it's banquet day. Are you where you wanted to be? Probably looking ahead.
Well, we've had a very productive week. I like the way we've gotten better. Our players have worked hard in improving in their technique and their fundamentals. I think we've improved in understanding and execution of our schemes. We'll go out tomorrow and have a nice scrimmage, and that's the nice thing about today. We practiced early, and they get almost 24 hours off their feet where they get to rest, and we still have kind of heavy legs at some positions, particularly the wide receivers. So as you get into it, I think we'll find out that we start freshening up. Our timing will get better next week, and we'll see a lot of improvement again next week. But I like the week we've had. I think our guys have improved a lot.
Where are you with the quarterback decision?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not close to a decision at all. I think that they've all had days where they played real well. They've all improved, and they all understand the offense better. I think we are throwing the ball better as far as our timing goes and our accuracy goes. And then they've all had moments where they haven't, did what we expected them to do, or didn't execute the way we need to execute. But I think they've all improved, and I think that's the biggest thing we're looking for is improvement.
I think you said in the summer that you wanted to ideally, I guess, have a starter 2 weeks out, which I guess would be tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, ideally after tomorrow's scrimmage, you'd like to have a starter named. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. I guess we'll wait and see how it all plays out. But usually what I'd like to do is have 2 weeks where you work, and you know who your starting quarterback is. This has been very close competition. They've all had their moments, so we'll see how tomorrow goes, and then evaluating the film all day on Sunday and Monday, because I think the players will look forward to after tomorrow. The grind is a little bit cut back, and they get a couple days off even as far as working on the field goes.
If you had a checklist of things you want for your starting quarterback to be, what are some of the
Well, the first thing that you have to do as a quarterback is to really be trustworthy and be coachable and do what the coaches want you to do without surprises. I think that's the biggest thing, to go out and operate the scheme and manage the game the way we want it to be done. You have to be a great leader, because the number one thing for a quarterback is to make the guys around him better. Elevate their game, elevate their intensity, elevate how hard they play, how hard they study and get prepared. We had some of our old players over last night to talk to the players. And one of the things I know they talked about was that each player was accountable to one another, and they didn't want to let their friend down or their teammate down. So that's certainly something that the quarterback has to provide as far as the leadership. And then he's got to make plays when the pressure's on, and that's why we try to practice with a lot of intensity and put a lot of pressure on them to perform well in practice, so the games become a lot easier for them.
So do you expect to go into tomorrow's scrimmage, those three guys all sort of get equal first-team reps?
They get a lot of work, yeah. We'll get a lot of work. A week ago we had a 175-play scrimmage. Tomorrow the plan is to try to have the first half be just like a game, run the clocks, run the 40-second clock, get the coaches off the field. We do have a lot of young guys on offense that a lot of times when the coaches are out there on the field, the play ends and they turn around and they're looking to find their coach to see what he's going to say to them. So we got to get the coaches off the field so our guys learn how to operate in a game. and then after halftime, I'll evaluate it and see where we are and how many plays we've went, whether we continue to work game tempo or put it more back into a scrimmage mode.
You don't want to be surprised by your quarterbacks, but how much improvisation do you allow them?
Oh, they have improvisation as far as what they do according to when things break down. You know, I think that's the thing. What you'd really like to do is have enough trust in your quarterback that you can go out and call everything very aggressively, and then they can get you out of a bad play. You know, what the defense shows something, and they can just get you out of a bad play. But then they're going to have to make plays when things break down, you know, when the protection breaks down or a receiver slips and falls, and your ability to make plays with your legs after the play starts. Even if it's moving in the pocket, sliding right, sliding left, delivering the ball, you know, you need a lot of instincts to play the position.
Bobby, on the offensive line, are you starting to see the pieces fall into place, or is it similar to the quarterbacks?
No, it's working out pretty well. You know, I think that we're going to be big and physical, and I've liked the way we're coming together. Obviously, there's still a lot of competition there, and we have some young guys that are in the competition. We've made some moves where guys get different reps at different times, but they've all worked with the ones and the twos, which is good because then you get to see them against those great defensive linemen that we have. Unfortunately, none of them block those guys very well. You know, I guess that's unfortunate for the offense and fortunate for the defense and the team. So that we really do have a very, very strong defensive front.
Bobby, I know you mentioned it once, but just your thoughts on the Indiana series, getting that deal done.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think it's a great deal for the University of Louisville football program, for the Indiana football program, for the fans from both schools, and like I said, we always had the rivalry in the basketball. So now to be able to come together and do it in football, I think would be great.
Coach, what about the secondary?
They're doing well. You know, they're doing well. When you have Josh Harvey Clemens back there and Shaq, you feel like you have experience, so it doesn't feel like you miss as many parts as you did a year ago. Some of the young guys are continuing to improve and get better. Our corners are in real close competition, and that'll be a fun thing to watch. You know, after on Sunday, to watch the video of how our secondary did, how they played their calls, how they played the leverage on the ball, how they tackled. Right now we've been tackling well, so hopefully we continue to do that.
How much does it help the secondary when you've got such a, at least on paper, strong front seven?
Yeah, that helps a lot. I mean, that helps every secondary. When you have the ability to rush the passer with 4 guys and mix up your coverages, then rush the passer with 5 guys, then utilize some of the zone blitz schemes, and put a clock on how long you have to cover. That's always a great thing for the secondary, and you know, that's one of the things we did really well last year. You know, we sacked the quarterback, we hit the quarterback, you distract the quarterback when you're able to do things like that, so his concentration goes from downfield to looking at the pass rush, and hopefully we can do that again.
Is there a chance that you come up with a starter and the team knows the starter, but maybe you decide that Auburn doesn't need to know who's starting going in, or you don't make that public?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, don't put it on me.
Yeah, I'm going to tell everyone I got that idea from you, Eric. A great one.
Last one for Coach. We gotta go.
Was there somebody that you thought played the best of the quarterbacks from last scrimmage?
Oh, geez, that was a week ago. I can't remember that. I'm getting old. I can't remember that long back. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.